Everyone, thank you very much for tuning in to the Outdoor Gear Review. My name is Luke. This is an episode of Before You Buy. And what I have here is the Decathlon Quick Hiker 2 tent. The Before You Buy series is all about the setup process of a tent. How complex, how easy is it? I'll show you how to do it so you can decide whether or not you want to purchase this product, whether or not it's a good fit for you, whether or not it's too complicated. This is information which is vital that you need to know before you make your purchase decision. With that being the case, I will go ahead and begin setting up this tent now. I will start off with a ground sheet to protect the tent. You don't have to do this, but I do recommend it. It's always a good idea to protect your investment. Once you have the ground sheet done, it's time to move over to the tent itself. Go ahead and separate the components. In this bag, you have the tent poles and also the stakes. Here's the tent body and the fly. They are connected, they are one. Unfold the body. Once you have the tent unfolded, take a close look. You will notice here that this tent has pole sleeves. With these pole sleeves, there's only one way to insert the poles. You will find on one end that there's a strip of yellow fabric. That is the beginning of the pole sleeve. So get your poles, get them ready, and once they're put together, insert them into the sleeves. Speaking of the poles here for a second, you have two which are equal length. They crisscross the body. That's what we're going to use first. Then you have a third pole, which is short. This will go sideways on the tent, and I'll show you how to insert this in just a minute. As you can see here, we have the pole tip. It is rounded so it can be inserted into the sleeve. The sleeve is here. It starts with this yellow fabric. As you're sliding the pole through the sleeve, it may take some work to get it in place. Ultimately, it will be seated at the opposite end of the tent where it's reinforced. Grab your next pole, insert it into the sleeve, and go across the body. Once you have the poles fully seated in their sleeves, it is time to erect the tent. With these poles, they are on top of each other. Start with the top pole. Oh man, that is tight. Most of the time when it comes to a tent that has a sleeve like this, the container clip, which goes around this pole, is adjustable so that you can loosen it, put it over the pole, and then tighten it. That's not the case. There is no adjustment here, and I am having a heck of a time. God almighty. That is so ridiculous. I've almost got it, but this is nonsensical. Man. I mean, honestly, folks, it is this much of a struggle. And to be honest, I've hurt my finger pulling on this rope here because I'm having to pull that hard. Got it. One pull is in. It's time to move to the next one. As I'm pushing on the pole, pulling on the clip, I'm also bending the pole a little bit towards the other side. That is just ridiculous. Got it. Got it. If you have fair conditions while setting up this tent, you can move to the third pole. Since it's windy here today, I'm going to go ahead and stake this out loosely. That will ensure the tent doesn't fly away. Once you have the tent staked out loosely in the corners, it's time to move on to the third pole. At the top in the center of the tent, you have some yellow fabric. Slide the pole through. On the sides, you will find the same sort of cups that go over the pole. Slide it in on one side, come over to the other side, and slide it in. Then you take the pole clips and put them over the pole. Once you're at this point, everyone, you can stake out the doors, open up the vents, make adjustments to the stakeouts that you've already done, and you are good to go. Once you're at this point, you will see that you have 4 tent stakes left. These are to stake out the guy lines. You have 2 on each side. If you need them, stake them out. Otherwise, you're done. That is how you set up the Decathlon Quick Hiker 2 tent. There is nothing quick about this setup process, and there's nothing easy about it either. In fact, this has got to be probably one of the worst tent setups that I've done. I have plenty of these before you buy episodes, and this is absolutely ridiculous. The fact that those cups aren't adjustable means that there are individuals who will simply not have enough strength to get these poles into place. Not only is it difficult to get the poles through the sleeves, but to put them in those cups is extremely difficult. I had to bend those poles back so far that I thought they would break. They didn't, and I was able to get them seated, but I was concerned. I'm looking at the design of this and I'm just confused. Why are they not adjustable? They are adjustable on just about any sort of tent that has pole sleeves, but not this one. And because of that, I have to rate this extremely poorly when it comes to the setup process. On a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being super simple, 1 being super difficult, I would give this a 2. It really is difficult. I've set this tent up a number of times already, so I'm familiar with how it goes, and still, it's extremely difficult. And yeah, that's unacceptable in my opinion. Once I got the tent in, I set it up for the first time, I went online and I found numerous reviews, people complaining about the exact same thing. Some people were unable to get these poles into those clips, and I completely understand why. I mean, it took every bit of strength that I had to force them in. To sum this up, everyone, setting up a tent shouldn't be a fight, especially if you have bad weather coming in, you have a storm coming in. You want to set it up and get protected. You don't want to have to do what I did. You don't want to have to sit there and just pull and push. That's not right. That's not the way it should be. And that is why we have the Before You Buy series. This is information that you need to have. These are aspects that you need to be aware of before you purchase a tent. The setup process on this is unacceptable. So I'm going to get in contact with the company, ask some questions about this, and see what their thinking is. Before I end this episode, everyone, we have to talk about the breakdown process. It is almost as bad as the setup. It's incredibly frustrating. Getting the poles out of the sleeves takes a ton of work. The sleeves themselves are simply too small. They're too grippy. So those poles, once they're in there, they want to stay there. So getting the poles out probably took 10 minutes by itself. That's just crazy. It's just crazy. Usually I don't talk about the breakdown process because it's just as easy as the setup. But in this case, it's just as bad. Anyways, everyone, make sure to comment down below, share your thoughts about this tent. This is the Quick Hiker 2 from Decathlon. If you have any experience with this tent, please share it with everyone else. Again, folks, this channel is agenda-free. I'm not trying to sell anything. I'm just simply trying to provide information. You're not going to find affiliate links, nothing like that. Folks, I appreciate you. Hit the thumbs up. I appreciate that too. Strength and honor. Bye, everybody.
There's a wind and it's blowing. There's a current that's running deep. I can't see, but I know it. There's something's now